Go.
Hey guys, it's your boy, Susie. I don't have a cool intro this week because I'm not creative anymore, I guess. So we kind of gave up. But I'm here again with Hutch0322, hashtag channel plug.
Hey guys, Touch of 322, as Susie said.
We have just one transaction or one set of transactions for this week for you guys. So we're going to analyze that, and then we are going to talk about some moves teams could potentially make to improve their rosters. Start this with TJ, the coach of the Slow Bohemians.
God. Alright, go ahead.
Oh, TJ decided to drop his normal Ninetales and his Snorlax mons that currently fit in the category of Tier B and Tier C in exchange for a Moltres. So you can obviously see that TJ's intent with this move was to add another it was to add a ground immunity that he is lacking. So I like how he made that move because his team is kind of ground weak since he has mons like T-Tar on there. And his whole team is built around trying to protect T-Tar. So if you can add another way to help him, it's going to be very smart in the long run for your T-Tar god, bro. Also, gun move. It's pretty obvious that he wanted just a little bit more bulk and he wanted some reliable recovery. So that is a justifiable move. A little bit more passive, and his team, in my opinion, is a little bit too passive. But he's a good battler, so I think he can make it work.
Yeah, right off the bat after seeing this trade, you can see that he's going for a lot more bulk. While Snorlax, yes, it's very bulky. Porygon is just a lot bulkier reliably, of course, because it does get the recovery. And Moltres obviously being much bulkier than Ninetales, having access to Roost. Flame Body is always helpful. And then just decent stats, but let's go ahead and read off his reasoning. So, if I can pull it up here. TJ said, Moltres provided me with a ground immunity. I need one because banded ground types are not fun to face, as well as a bit more bulk to take fire and grass type attacks, which a lot of my mons don't really appreciate. As for Porygon 2, I realized that I needed more reliable bulk with reliable recovery, and although I had high hopes for Snorlax, I realized I had a lot of setup already, and that extra bulk was really going to help out, especially in the weeks to come. So basically, from that, he's just saying he needs a lot of bulk. It's going to help him out, plus a lot more reliable bulk. The Mons previous that he had did not have access to recovery outside of Snorlax. Stop this. Outside of Snorlax, wait. It got me messed. Alright, there we go. Outside of Snorlax, being able to like recycle or rest, that's about it. Just Porygon 2 has recover. Moltres has obviously the Roost. Another thing to look at is the Moltres can actually set up the sun decently. Sunny Day is not a bad set on this thing. It's going to give him another pivot, and I really like this trade because honestly Porygon 2 is going to be easier to use. And Porygon 2 just sounds absolutely filthy. Or Porygon 2 and Mew. I think I said that wrong, but whatever. Yeah, it just sounds really, really nice. And Moltres, in my opinion, is a better Mon than Ninetales for his team just because he's not going to be having internal issues with the Weather Wars. Because if he wants to bring in Ninetales, but he wants to bring in T-Tar, he might have to combat the Weather Wars there. So he might have some issues there, but no longer moving forward. And I really like the changes for his team.
Thank you for the in-depth analysis, as always, Ron Swanson lookalike. So to talk about some potential moves that franchises could make to improve their rosters right now. So the first team we want to talk about, obviously, is a team that has had trouble so far this year. Numals and Devastator's the coach. So right now, glaring obviously as a mon that should be changed is a Whirlipede. So I think honestly
You're
he could
messed
pick
up.
up anything in tier. He could pick up any. He could pick up anything in tier C and it'd be a positive transaction. Blake, ha ha ha. Okay, next move. So on a totally serious level, the first coach we want to talk about making a transaction is Shadow, and Hutch came up with this perfect transaction. So I'm gonna let you do it.
All right, so looking at Shadow's team, well, yes, he did kind of patch his issues. He still does only have Togekiss and Swellow as his only removers. I don't think that's really good, especially if he's trying to run a Webs team. It's very difficult to have unreliable removers and that they're only defoggers. I think this trade would make a lot of sense for him. So if you look at his team, really your most reliable hazard removers are going to be in the tier A and the tier B. He said 100% he does not want to change out any tier A, so we'll check that off. I talked to him about maybe dropping Swellow for something like Golbat earlier in the season. He said no way. He really wants to keep Swellow. You need the Jolteon there. It's his only electric type, and he needs the speed on his team. Araquanid, of course, great for the webs. And Mega Heracross, you need that just because it's your Mega and you can't drop it for anything anyways. So, the one mon on there that really stands out to me that he doesn't need as much is Mismagius. He doesn't need that big special wall breaker. He's got a Swellow, he's got a Jolteon, he's got a Victini. He's got a lot of options for special wall breaking. Now, his grass type is Vileplume, and Vileplume isn't the best. And I feel like he
Garbage.
can build an extremely good core between Victini, Araquanid, and Sarina. I would say drop Mismagius for Sarina. That is just my opinion. It gets Rapid Spin, a good pivot for him. He has a lot of good pivots already, but it provides more pivots for him. And yes, there's other mons down there, stuff like Golbat. You can get Gligar, and of course there's some other spinners down there. It's just I feel for what would, and then there's Tentacruel, but for what would fit to his team, I feel like Serena would be the best for him.
Thank you for that analysis, Hutch. I totally agree with that because Serena is a spectacular spinner. And I mean, honestly, it's a mon that just perfectly fits his team, and I don't see why he needs Miss Magus. Maybe I'm mistaken. I guess it gives him another special attacking threat. But Serena just adds so much more, and it just helps him not have to bring defog, so he's able to keep up. All
Yeah.
right. So, any other moves we would like to talk about?
In terms of other moves, like for the most part, we would talk about like teams struggling, but a lot of the teams that haven't had the greatest of performances have already used most of their free agent transactions, so there's not that much we can really talk about. Yeah, I think that about sums it up for this video. So go ahead and take us out.
Ask everyone how's their weekend. So, you guys can have like 10 seconds to respond to the screen so you feel better. So,
All right, bye guys.